What's going on, guys? Mr. Jones coming at you once again. Welcome back from Thanksgiving break. Hope you guys gained at least 10 pounds. That's usually what I like to do, is make a goal. You gotta set goals, right? Gain at least 10 pounds for Thanksgiving. It's where gluttony is acceptable. The one day of the year where gluttony is acceptable. But with that being said, we got to get back down to business. So today we're going to skip a little bit. We're going to go through this section a little bit faster because we got to get done before Christmas break so we can get on to some other things. So we're going to go ahead and talk about literal equations. So if you want to, I would definitely write some notes. So we're going to talk about literal equations. And this is typically where you can solve for any variable. Okay, you can just manipulate the equation. So I'm going to give you an example, not one of the ones on the screen, but I'm going to give you one very similar to number one. And I want you to take notes on this. So here's the equation. And both of these equations we're going to be solving for x, okay? So solve for x. Now this first one should be fairly simple. I want to write PEMDAS. Multiplication, division's the same as each other, and so is addition and subtraction. If you're solving for a variable, then you go in this direction. Okay, reverse PEMDAS. If you have a big, huge division sign like the one you see in the problem, then everything on top is basically considered to be in parentheses. It's a form of grouping because all of that is being divided by 4. So I'm going to go ahead and toss some invisible parentheses around the top so we know that we can't do anything with it until we take care of the 4 on the bottom. So first question, do we have any addition and subtraction that we can take care of? You notice the x is here. We're going to go ahead and leave it on the left side, which means that everything else is going to go on the right. And because this is all in parentheses, I cannot do anything with this addition sign yet, okay? All right, next, multiplication and division. The answer is yes. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4 because I'm dividing by 4. And then this is going to cancel out, okay? And whenever it does, I'm left with 2x plus 6 equals 8 times 4, which is 32. All right, now go back. Any addition and subtraction we can take care of? Yes, this 6 plus 6. Now I could subtract 6 from both sides. This cancels. 2x equals, what is that? 26. Okay. And then lastly, any multiplication division we could take care of? Yes, we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 2, and x equals 13. All right, this is typically how you solve a regular equation. So now let's do one similar to problem number 2, which you can notice are the very same numbers, but we also have a variable in there. So let me go ahead and move that down here. That equation is going to be 2x plus 6y divided by 4 equals 8. So same thing, we're going to solve for x, which means everything except for the x has to be put on the left side. So remember, we want to keep the x there, and we also have invisible parentheses here. So let's go ahead and multiply both sides by 4, just like we did last time. These cancel. I'm left with 2x plus 6y. The parentheses are unnecessary now because it's not over a big division sign anymore, so the invisible parentheses go away. Now, any more addition and subtraction? Yes. Instead of subtracting 6 from both sides, we're going to subtract 6y from both sides. Okay, and these cancel, and on the left, I'm left with 2x. But on the right, I can't combine that negative 6y and that 32. So you could just leave it as 32 minus 6y. Or you could have put negative 6y plus 32. Same thing. And now, last but not least, divide everything by 2. So you could either write it with one big division sign, or you can do them separately. It doesn't really matter. But here we go. This all cancels, and I'm left with x equals Now you can actually divide this. 32 divided by 2 is 16. And negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. And so now this is your answer, or you could have said negative 3y plus 16. I would have actually, I like this answer better. Usually you put the variables first. But both of these are the same. We use the exact same process. The only difference is we actually had a variable left in our answer. Okay, so just a really quick couple little words of advice. Okay, problem number 3, you see it looks like this. Okay, now we're actually going to take care of this 5 first, because that addition or subtraction is separate from this whole section right here. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and add 5 first, and then take care of the 3. The one that looks like this, how do you get rid of multiplying by a fraction? I'll start this process for you. You multiply by its reciprocal. So this would all cancel out. And you multiply fractions is by going straight across. So this side turns into 30 halves, or 15. Can't write 15, I ran out of room, but you guys get the picture. So there's a couple examples. Here's 15. To help you with those ones that might be tricky. On number 7, you could distribute first if you want. Or you could just divide by 2 right off the bat. It's up to you. All right, so there's those ones. All right, I don't know why I just did that. Let's move that back. All right, moving on. So now you're going to go in, first of all, you're going to do problems 1 through 8. Go ahead and skip 9 and 10. Okay, so I'm going to write that. Skip 9 and 10 on this first page. Okay, this is for task 4.3. Okay, so those are just a few problems. Okay, now we're going to go down to the Ready, Set, Go 4.3. We're going to do both at the same time. Okay, so we're going to start off on number 9. So skip 1 through 7 on 4.3 Ready, Set, Go. Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and do, let's look at all these. They say solve literal equations that require more than one step. Solve for the indicated variable. So if you're solving for a variable, that means you want to get it by itself. Okay, so look at number 9. It says solve for h. That means you're going to divide out 25, divide out pi, because that's all just a bunch of multiplication. So how do you get rid of multiplication? You divide. So whatever variable you're solving for, that literally means just get the variable by itself. Okay, so do whatever you got to do to get it by itself. All right, so I don't think, let's just do one for fun. Let's see, what number can I do? Let's do one that looks difficult. Let's do number 10. So number 10 says Q equals pi r squared h. This is all being multiplied together, and we want to solve for h. So I want h to be by itself, which means I could divide both sides by pi r squared, divided by pi r squared. And whenever I do, this cancels, all this cancels, and I'm just left with h. Q divided by pi r squared is my answer. As long as you're manipulating the numbers using reverse PEMDAS, you can manipulate however you want, and now I just solve for h. So there's the free answer for number 10. So make sure you guys write that down. All right, let me just zoom out of here so I can come up here where I have some more room. All right, number 21 through 25. It just says locate the x-intercept and the y-intercept, okay? An x-intercept is going to look like this, okay? And a y-intercept is going to look like this. Okay, so a y-intercept has an x value of 0, and an x-intercept has a y value of 0, where the numbers are in these locations. All right, that's how you do 21 through 23. And 24 and 25, you literally just find it on the graph, but your answer should look like this. It should not be one number. It should be a number with a 0 or a 0 with a number, depending on what it is. All right, and then last but not least, this section I'm going to shorten just a hair, but all you have to do is solve for the variable. So it says solve each equation for x, but you don't have to provide any justification. All I want you to do is just get a little bit of practice in there and get x by itself. You'll know you got it right because whenever you plug in the number, your equation will work out. So the only ones you won't be able to do that with is like number 31 and 32, it looks like, because they have two variables. This one has a y in it and this one has a b in it. But all the other ones should be very simple. All right, let us know if you have any questions. If you need more help with just solving for a single variable, my recommendation is go online and you type in how do I don't know why I put D with two O's there. How do I solve a multi-step equation for a single variable? Okay, so if you type this in, you're going to find a bunch of other videos that will help you out. So here's where you can type into Google if you need more help. Let us know if you need any other help. We'll be happy to help you guys. Take care.